Well, hello everybody, and thanks for coming to see my second show. And I'm Patti Heredia, and it's going to be an hour at the Therapy Center. And I have a guest here who is going to be participating. We're going to have an interactive session this evening. And this is Karen Klemp, and she asked to please let her wear the sunglasses because the lights are so bright back behind the camera. So we said, absolutely, absolutely. So what we're going to do today, this evening, is we are going to do interactive, some of the techniques that I do at the clinic. And we're going to do some neuro-linguistic programming my way. We're going to be taking a look at an issue of a subconscious issue that most people have. And we're going to go called Search and Recover, Acknowledge, Thank, Release, and Reframe. And then we're going to segue right into a hypnotherapy session for self-confidence and letting go of no longer needed belief systems. So if you would like, go ahead and get comfortable and go along with this, because if this is just for yourself, you can make believe that you're sitting in the seat instead of Karen. So I'll be guiding you through it, and also know that at any time that you would want to come out of this very comfortable state, all you have to do is just count from 1 to 3, and you're the one in complete control. So it's a very simple procedure. In fact, some of you might be wondering, what would hypnosis actually feel like? Well, have you ever meditated? Have you ever been driving your car and you get to your destination and you've been daydreaming and you don't remember the last mile? That is very much what it's like. However, when research has been done on hypnosis and electrodes have been put on their brain and we're watching brainwave activity, people are actually have a heightened awareness. So they narrow down their focus, but they heighten their awareness. So there's very active brain activity. So no, you won't go out, you won't quack like a duck. It would be very enjoyable. Or just watch, and thank you for coming on with us, and share this with your newsfeed and your friends. It would be very much appreciated. So I'm also going to afterward open it up to questions. So if you are participating, and then come on into the chat and send your questions in, and we'd be happy to answer them. So what we're going to do is get started first, and with the first technique, because we don't have a lot of time, and this it'll be packed full. I want to make sure that we have it open for you for questions. All right, now the first thing that we're going to do is I am going to guide Karen through an exercise which I call, well, it involves your neurology, it involves linguistics. It's not straight NLP, but it has the elements of going back into your subconscious mind. Everything is in your subconscious, in the mind belt, not your conscious mind. And we're going to go look and ask for and go visit a core energetic anchor of an emotion that many people is a basic emotion that human beings deal with, fear. And we're going to be guided by Karen's higher consciousness and yours as well. So if you participate in this, you'll simply be guided by your higher conscious, and I will be guiding you sentence by sentence. So you don't have to wonder if you know how to do this. You just go along with the prompts, so to speak. We're going to guide Karen to do a creative visualization. That is what it's going to feel like. It's not hypnosis. It's very creative visualization. We're going to go through that, and we're going to go visit and as an observer, the core anchor, the core energetic root cause of the energy, not a specific thing that you remember, but the energy of fear that accidentally, erroneously got stuck in her neurology and in her mind, her mind field. And then we're going to acknowledge it and thank it. We're going to learn from it, and we're going to release, and we're going to reframe. And when that is done, Karen is going to be in a very relaxed, meditative state, and I'm going to simply segue right into a deeper state, and we're going to do a brief, maybe approximately 10-15 minute hypnotherapy session on self-confidence and letting go of belief systems that simply are no longer for a parent's highest and best good, or yours, okay? Sound good? All right, so we're going to get started. And if you're going to go along, just sit back and close your eyes. And Karen, go ahead and just close your eyes and take 2 nice, deep, comfortable breaths. Nice, comfortable breaths, in and out. And after the second nice, comfortable breath, just breathing regularly. I will do the same. It doesn't matter how you go through this process. You're trusting your higher subconscious, unconscious mind. It's fun. There isn't a right or wrong way to do this. There simply is not a right or wrong way to do this. Now, I am going to have you establish a timeline. Now, just use your imagination and pick a finger and point to the past outside of yourself. Just go ahead and point to the past outside of yourself, no matter, take a finger and point to the past. So the past is right in front of you, no matter how far out into the universe it goes. All right, the past is in front of you. Put a dot there. Okay, now go ahead and point to the future, wherever it is outside of yourself, no matter how far out into the universe it goes. Doesn't matter where it is. There isn't a right or wrong way to do this. Just go ahead and point to the future outside of yourself. Go ahead and point to the future outside of yourself. Off to the right. Now, imagine that there's a dot way out there in the future. And now point to the right now outside of yourself. Right now, the present. Right here in front of you. Okay, now imagine that there is a dot right there, right in front of you. Now you get to connect the dots. Now the dots can be connected by any kind of connecting line that you want. It can be a laser beam, it can be a stream of light, it could be a cable, it could be a ribbon, be the yellow brick road. Now go ahead in your mind's eye. Everything is in your mind. This is not reality. This is not third dimensional reality. Go ahead and in your mind's eye, connect the dots. Are your dots connected? Mm-hmm. Good. Now, in your mind's eye again, not in reality, but in your mind's eye, take a hold of the dot of the future with one hand and the dot of the past with the other hand. And in your mind's eye, pull it into a nice straight line in front of you. Perfect. Now, anchor it in. Excellent. Now you can relax. Now, this line is an imaginary line. It's your imaginary timeline that goes off into the universe. It is not finite. It's not finite at all. Now you get to experience your timeline. And I would like you to imagine that you are floating above your timeline. It does not matter how high or how low you float. It doesn't matter how you float. You could fly like a bird. You could simply float. You could be on a magic carpet if you wanted to. But I would like you to float above your timeline. And then I would also like you to be aware that you are in a protective energy grid. It is transparent and it is impermeable. Only light and love comes in, only light and love goes forth. At all times, you'll feel completely comfortable in your protective energy grid. Now, the first thing I'd like you to do is fly so high up into the universe that your timeline shrinks to 1 inch. Can you do that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now float right back, and the timeline goes right back to infinity on both sides. Can you do that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now what I would like you to do, just to get an additional feel for what your timeline represents for you, and it's really about trusting your higher consciousness and how your higher consciousness talks to you and communicates to you, okay? This is you talking to you. I'm simply guiding you. Now, I would like you to imagine beginning to float out along your past timeline, and if you hear or sense or imagine anything, just ignore it for now. Just float out pleasantly along your timeline. Is it daylight or is it evening?
The sun is bright.
Right. Do you like the sun bright? Is it a perfect temperature? Mm-hmm. You comfortable? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now turn around and just float right back
float into the future.
Just float right to the future. And again, if you get a sense or see or hear or feel something, just ignore it and float right on out. Is it daylight or is it evening?
Sunset.
It's a sunset. Do you like sunsets?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a beautiful sunset?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. What's the temperature? Nice and comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now turn around and come right on back to the present. Now I am going to ask you some questions. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath again. Nice deep inhale and let it out. Now as you go through this process, you are to trust your higher subconscious. Your higher conscious, your subconscious, your unconscious. However you go through this process is perfectly right for you. There's not a right or wrong way to do this. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. As soon as you get those answers, whatever the answers are, no matter how ridiculous you might think the answer is, whatever pops into your head is the correct answer. Because you're going with your higher consciousness, not your conscious mind. And you're going to notice that as soon as I ask the question, something is going to pop into your mind, and you're going to tell me, and that's the correct answer, and we're going to go with it. And I'm going to be writing it down. And we're going to go with it. So whatever it is, let your higher consciousness give you the answer, and we're going to stick with it. All right, now working with your higher consciousness to give you the answer. You are not conscious of this. We would like to know the energetic root cause, the energetic core anchor of this unwarranted, no longer needed, negative energy of fear. Was it after you were born or before you were born into this life? Whatever pops in your mind.
I don't feel fear. I don't feel fear.
Just go along with it, and sometimes we're not aware of things. Just go along with it. Let your higher consciousness give you an answer, and let your conscious mind just rest here. And let your subconscious mind give you. Was it after you were born or before you were born?
I'm not there.
Whatever pops into your mind.
Well, the sun is bright and it's warm. Yep.
Let's have you just begin to float out along your past timeline. There isn't a right or wrong way of doing this. Just float out comfortably. You're just floating out, you have no idea where you're going. You have no preconceived idea where you're going. And just pause. Now, in your protective energy grid, you have a high-tech energy camera. And I would like you to you can just move it with your hand. It's as light as a feather. And I would like you to move that in front, and it has an audio button on it. I would like you to press the audio button on it. Can you do that? All right. I would like you to press the color button. Can you do that? All right. Now, all you have to do is peer down through the lens, the viewing lens of the high-tech energy camera, and just tell me what you observe, what you hear, what you sense, what you observe.
In the past,
Doesn't matter. Whatever you are viewing.
Birthday party in the backyard. Friends there.
How old are you?
7.
Okay. Tell me what's happening.
Children have hats on and they're happy, having fun.
Okay. Now I would like you to go back to a time when at least 2 years earlier, and it can be longer than that. Just floating, just floating. Let your higher consciousness take you wherever your higher consciousness wants to take you. And it's at least 2 years earlier, or it could be longer. And pause. And now look down through the camera lens on that high-tech energy camera and tell me, what are you observing as you look down through the camera?
I'm playing in the playground.
Of a school?
Mm-hmm.
Are you with many other children?
Mm-hmm.
Are there adults with you?
No.
Just children?
Right.
Is it daylight or is it evening?
It's daylight.
Okay, good. Are you on recess? Or is it after on recess? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in kindergarten?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Good, good, good. And what are you specifically doing?
Hula hooping.
Hula hooping. Are you doing it by yourself or are others doing it also?
Others are doing it also.
Okay. All right.
Mine is green.
Yours is green. You like it, right?
Mm-hmm. Green is my color. Green. It feels like mine. It's green.
Yes. Excellent. Now, we asked your higher consciousness to show you some things where there was an unconscious, you don't know it, an unconscious energy of fear that accidentally got anchored into your energy field. And then the neurology of this experience, this life experience. Is there anything about this scene, anything at all, that you would observe as fearful?
No.
Okay. And again, I would like you to float further back on your timeline, going deeper into the subconscious, allowing other energy that could have affected you that you're not even aware of. Earlier than language and cognition. And pause. Now just, again, look through the viewing lens. And what are you observing? Maybe you're not even observing yourself. Maybe you're observing something or someone else. What are you seeing when you look through the movie camera?
Being a baby.
A baby. All right. Are you alone or are you with people?
I'm with my family.
Are you being held or are you in a bed?
And then a bassinet.
A bassinet. Are you sleeping or are you awake?
I'm sleeping.
All right. On the camera, there's a zoom out button. Just hit that zoom out button so you get a bigger view.
It's very hot. It's very hot.
It's hot. Is it summertime?
Mm-hmm. So
Very hot. Very hot. Are there other people with you?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not alone. Are you a healthy baby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Observe the other people in what you are viewing. Remember, you are an observer only. You are an observer only. What is going on with the other person or people? Are there other people with you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who are they? Do you recognize them, or maybe you don't recognize them?
My mother and then my brother and sister are playing in the background.
All right. Zoom in on your mother. Zoom into her eyes. We are all few now. We're zooming in to the other people in your picture. This is all in your mind. What does your higher consciousness tell you? Whatever your higher conscious tells you.
She's nervous.
What is she nervous about? You can't tell? All right.
Just nervous.
Nervousness is an aspect of fear.
Mhm.
Your higher consciousness took you to when the energy pattern of fear accidentally got anchored into your energy field. Had nothing to do with you at all. Now, would you like to release this permanently from your energy field? This is the position where you are in right now, called learning position. And your higher consciousness brought you here. I simply guided you. You are able to get an aha-ness, awareness, a silver lining, and being able to observe that your mother was nervous or anxious or whatever, but she had an element of fear, and to permanently release that, let it go. We recognize it, we think it, and we release it, and we will reframe. And this is the perfect learning position. What would your higher consciousness like you to have as a aha moment, a takeaway on this for you that we will anchor into your cellular memory? Empowerment, strength. What would you take away from this? What would be your learning from observing this?
I'm not connected to him.
That you're not connected to her, you're separate, that you are powerful, aren't you?
Mhm.
You are empowered. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to accomplish, can't you? If you want it, and you can set your mind and you can accomplish your goals, can't you?
Mhm.
All right, perfect. Now, we are no longer going to be observing that scene, but before we move on, I would like you to, on the high-tech energy camera, I'd like you to just turn the volume off. Just turn it right off. You can do it in your mind's eye, or you can just hit the button. Is the volume off?
Mhm.
Okay. Now I would like you to hit the black and white button, so it goes from color to black and white. Can you do that? Perfect. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and when I say the number 3, you're going to hit that black and white button again, and the whole scene is going to go gray on gray. 1, 2, 3. Did you hit the black and white button? Is it gray on gray on gray?
Mhm.
Perfect. Now what I would like you to do is I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and when I say 3, you're going to hit the zoom out button, and the whole scene is going to become half its size. 1, 2, 3. Is it half its size? Hit the zoom out button. Perfect. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and snap my fingers. And when I snap my fingers, you will hit the zoom out button one more time, and the scene's going to become the size of a postage stamp. 1, 2, 3. Is it the size of a postage stamp?
Mhm.
Perfect. Now in a moment, I'm simply going to snap my fingers. And when I snap my fingers, you're going to hit the zoom out button. The whole scene is going to disappear. Is the scene gone? Is the scene gone? Perfect, good. Now just let the high-tech energy camera float away and just float comfortably. Just drift back along your timeline. It does not matter where you go. Just drift and relax and bask in the sunshine. And there is a portal, an energy portal above your head, and there's an energy portal below your feet that are opening up. And first, through the energy portal below your feet, any and all negative energies of fear and grief and judgment and guilt, any and all feelings, whether you're aware of them or not, just allowing them to be released right out of your energy field, going through that portal below your energy, below your feet, and being absorbed and taken in by universal life force energy to be recycled, to be recycled. Nothing is ever wasted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that portal closes, and the portal above your head is opening up, and gently and beautifully and comfortably flowing in and going around your body and coming down through the center core of your body is coming in this most beautiful green light. It is like transparent and it sparkles almost like diamonds, emerald green light, and it's just saturating and coming into the nucleus of every cell of your body, and it is bringing with it power. It is bringing with it empowerment. It is bringing with it an ability to do whatever you ought to be able to do and whatever you want to be able to do. It is bringing in and anchoring in creativity, and is bringing in and anchoring in a zest for life and a passion for life. And it is bringing in and anchoring in the desire to lean into life and to open up to all that life has to offer you and allow yourself to receive it and be thankful, appreciative, grateful, and full of love. And the portal closes, and then what I would like you to do is to simply float back to the present, and you will stay very, very relaxed. And as you are staying very, very relaxed, we are going to do another deepening technique and go right into a reframing hypnotherapy session. I am simply going to suggest to you that to get a sense or a feel or a visual that you are outdoors in a most beautiful park. It's beautiful country. It is your favorite kind of day, whatever your favorite kind of day is. And there are some steps, outdoor steps. Perhaps they're stone steps, perhaps they're wooden steps. And you are going to walk down. There are 10 steps. And I will guide you down the steps. And as you go down each step in a moment, you will allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. And you are walking and you come up to the top step and you step down to step 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are now standing on the ground below. And begin to just stroll, just walk through this beautiful, beautiful area of country. You can be wherever you want. Maybe you are in a park that you love and value, or maybe it's simply a park or a field that you bring up along out of your creative memory. And as you are walking, with each step that you take, you allow yourself to go deeper and deeper, getting a sense of feeling, a visual, possibly a visual, that you are walking in this beautiful area. Maybe it's a park, maybe it's a beach. It is a gorgeous day. And you are so enjoying yourself, you take an interest in the surroundings. You notice the details of your surroundings, the color of the grass, the flowers. Perhaps the wind gently brushes against your face. Maybe you even can smell the air if there's a scent of flowers or a scent of water in the air. Allow your senses to explore your surroundings, your eyes, your ears, and also imagine, get a sense or a feeling that you are carrying a large backpack on your back. And this backpack is full of rocks. And it's very heavy. But you can do it. You're carrying this backpack on your back, and it's full of rocks. And as you are walking along the path, you come to a small hill. It's a small hill. And you notice that dead weight of this pack on your back. The heavy contents of the pack of rocks on your back can represent unwanted negative feelings that you might be aware of or not aware of. It doesn't matter. And you climb up this small hill, and on reaching the top of the hill, you find an open gate leading into a meadow, a delightful meadow. Delightful meadow. In the middle sits a large, colorful, hot air balloon with a big basket beneath it, and large ropes hold the balloon down. It is anchored down with 4 large ropes. So you walk over to the balloon and you drop that heavy, big backpack of rocks off your back on the ground. You feel so much relief already. What a weight off your shoulders, off your back, off your soul. And you open up that backpack, and one by one you just pick out a rock, you take it out, and you place the rock in the basket. And then you pick up another rock. You even have to know what the rock represents. You just pick up another rock, and you place that rock in the basket. And you keep doing that, one rock at a time. And you begin to notice how your negative feelings on anything, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, energetic, you begin to feel lighter, and these energies decrease more and more, and they did decrease more and more as each rock got put into the basket of the hot air balloon. Enjoy the process. Make sure that every single rock has been taken out of the backpack and put into the basket. If there are any rocks left, finish them off right now. Put them all in the basket. As soon as you have disposed of the last object from the backpack, the last rock, you become aware right now of a deep feeling of relief. A very deep feeling of relief, of satisfaction, of contentment, of release. Feels so good to just let go, release, and a deep sense of peace settles inside of you right now. And then you notice that the ropes holding down the balloon are tied to stakes in the ground. And the ropes, of which there are 4, one for each corner of the basket, are tied in a way to make a large bow in each rope. So you know how easy it is to pull and let loose a bow on a ribbon. You just pull one of the ends of the bow. So now you go to the first rope and you pull the end of it in such a way that it holds on the bow and releases that rope from the stake. Just releases it. The basket lifts a little bit on that corner as the remaining 3 ropes take the strain from the one that has just been released. Now go to the next rope and gently just pull it. Notice how the basket releases the rope from the stake, and now the basket is bobbing and perhaps a little creaking from the remaining 2 ropes. Next, you're getting very eager here. This is fun. You go to the next rope, and again you gently pull it so that it becomes undone, and notice the basket is straining on the remaining rope. And now you go to the last rope and you give it a good hard tug, and you set the balloon in the basket free. It's free. It's free. And now you just sit or lie down on the comfortable, warm, soft grass and just watch as you allow that balloon to float away with all of the rocks in it. Watch it go higher and higher, and it gets smaller and smaller. And as this is happening, you can notice the feeling of being free, being free, being free, contentment, relief, leaving you with a very pleasant and warm sense of peace, a pleasant and warm sense of peace. And this peace will stay with you as long as you desire this peace to stay with you. It is your choice. And now, what I would like you to do is just, in your mind's eye, stand up and begin to stroll back along the path that you came along, appreciating the beauty of where you are, being so grateful having the opportunity to release any of the energies that are no longer needed by you. Thanking them. Think all of the beauty that is surrounding you. And with gratitude and appreciation and thankfulness, send love. Send love to all animate and inanimate creatures and objects in all directions, on all planes and all dimensions. And now, I am going to bring you back. I'm going to be counting from 1 to 5. And when I reach the number 5, you'll be wide awake, relaxed, refreshed, ready for your day, being in your physical world, being grounded, bringing balance to all areas of your life. So here we go. 0 up to 5. 0, 1, beginning to come back, balancing physically, emotionally, mentally, chemically, spiritually. Open yourself up to your physical world of health, life force energy, happiness. 3, 4, coming up, coming up. 5, wide awake, open your eyes, open your eyes. All right, how do you feel? Good? Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh,
All right, so
it's very nice.
I don't know how many of you were able to participate, but Neshi, if there are anybody giving us questions, or if nobody sends in a question, perhaps you have some questions that you would like to ask of us? Let me see here. I'll go right here and put in, hi. Typing like this, do you have, here. All right, we're waiting for Neshi to come on. So I'm going to just start asking Karen some questions, and then she can answer, and you'll be able to share and see how your experience dovetailed with hers. So Karen, what was it like?
The most powerful piece was feeling the light above and feeling the warmth and love above. That was the most powerful piece.
And anchoring it in for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. This is just a technique of you talking to your higher consciousness for search and recover, thank, release, and reframe. So the reframing was very powerful for you. All right. Is there anything that you'd like to share with whoever's watching?
It was just a unique experience to go back in time and to be back in time and to observe my surroundings. It was just an interesting experience.
Okay. And you felt very comfortable, didn't you?
I felt safe. I
Yes.
felt safe.
Someone has asked, how did you feel when you were in session? So safe?
I felt safe.
Did you stay with the guiding that I was doing, or did you drift possibly? Sometimes people drift. They feel like they might doze off or daydream about something
we were talking
else.
about different times in my past, and I did drift to a different time in my past that, after I went back and, went back in the past and came forward, then I drifted back again.
That's very normal.
Okay.
That's just your higher consciousness giving you more images, more information, more relevant information. Yeah. And that it comes in images. And did you feel heavy? Did you feel light? Were there any parts of your body that felt tingly? Sometimes when people are hypnotized, they have odd physical sensations.
When I put the backpack of rocks on my back, I wanted to take them off right away.
Didn't like it.
I don't like it. Too many. It was very heavy, and I just immediately wanted to take it off.
Yes. So then when you did take it off, did you have a good feeling? What was your feeling when you took the backpack off?
Yeah, it just felt much better. It's like, hallelujah, take that backpack off.
All right. Were you able to?
I wanted to get in the basket. Instead of putting my rocks in the basket, I wanted to get in the basket and leave the rocks there and float up.
Well, of course, you can do anything you choose. So if you want to do that at some point, you just simply visualize it and do it. Absolutely. Perhaps then on another Monday night, we'll do one where you get to float off and go into freedom, set yourself free. Yes, yes. So as you were putting each rock into the basket, did you have a building sensation at all of peace or relief? Did it get more and more?
Well, the feeling was that I didn't want to put the rocks in the basket. I wanted to get in the basket. It was a big hot air balloon was the basket, what the basket looked like. So I wanted to get in the basket. That was the basic feeling that I had. Rather than, I know you were saying, put one in at a time, and my feeling was, I don't want to do that. I just want to get in the basket.
But did you put the rocks in?
I did.
Okay.
I put them in.
She begrudgingly put the rocks of crap that she was emotionally letting go of into the basket, but she did it begrudgingly. Hey, it is your
My dream.
It's your dream, and however you do it is perfectly right.
Yeah.
But those are also clues that I look for when I am working with someone, that those are wonderful clues that you really did want to get in that basket and go float away. You really did. And those are good things for you to ponder about and figure out what
that means.
Yeah, not mentally or consciously figure it out, but there's more. I'm just telling you that there's more here that you could work on. Definitely more that you could work on.
All right.
So, but you did feel safe, correct?
I did.
At all times you felt that you were the one in control, right?
Well, even when I was a little baby, I felt safe. I felt kind of safe. Even though, I mean, perhaps it sounds contrary in that I felt separate from my mother, I still felt safe.
Still felt safe. See, what Karen, I listen very carefully when people are telling me what they're observing. There isn't a right or wrong. This is coming from their perspective, their consciousness, their higher consciousness, their soul. And she felt very, very safe. She said to me, I'm not afraid of things. And that is exactly how it can work. We can carry with us energy patterns that are not from our own experiences. They don't have to be from our own experiences. We absorb as human beings empathically what we hear, what we see, what we observe, what we learn, what we've been exposed to, family values, energy patterns, cultural, national, world viewpoints. We take that on. It's called programming, but we do, and humans do that. And it's simply an important, very, very important for us to let go of things that are not our own, number one, and let go of energy patterns that simply are no longer needed for us, for us to be able to move forward in life, accomplish the goals that we want, be happier, be healthier, lean into life. Because when I give the analogy of the subconscious and the conscious mind as everybody knows what a computer is. There's the hard drive and the plastic components, and that is what our gray matter is, the brain that's sitting in here, okay? And then we have our software programs. That's the mind. The gray matter, the brain, is finite. The mind is infinite, and it goes on and it never ends, and it permeates everything, and we are affected by that. And if we have any kind of belief system that we are not aware of, and they call it unconscious because we're not conscious of it, it sends off a frequency, a vibration. So there we have this software program in our mind sending off a frequency that we're not even aware of, and so we don't progress as quickly or as easily as we would like to be. So it is important to search, recover, thank, appreciate, release, reframe. That's as simple as it is, and practice appreciation, gratitude, thankfulness, and love. Releasing is part of forgiveness. You release it. So I'm trying to read some questions here, but half of them are cut off. Time, I can see one here. The time, something interesting. How does it feel to something yourself from, to view, possibly the question is, how does it feel to watch yourself from above? How did it feel to watch yourself from above?
Well, truthfully, I meditate every day, so I'm used to doing that every day.
Felt natural?
So it felt natural.
Yes.
And the thing of getting in the basket, it wasn't like going away, it was like coming home,
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And I don't know, a good or bad, I don't know.
It's not a good or bad. It's not a right or wrong, a good or bad. It just is. It's our ego perception that it's a good or a bad thing. It's not. Here's another question. Did Karen something that the nervousness from her mother affecting current life as an adult? How do you feel? Are you in touch with how your mother was?
Yeah.
Are you aware of any way that affected your current life?
I don't totally understand, but I always felt like I was a duck put in a chicken's coop, so that I was somehow different from my family, and I don't know why, but even back then, I felt different than my family. So
Yeah. I don't know if that's answering your question.
How did it make me feel that my mother was nervous?
Yes.
Did not feel affected by it.
Okay, that answered the question.
I still felt safe.
Still felt safe.
Right.
Even with her mother's nervousness. Well, what maybe you heard, maybe you didn't, but in the beginning, when I asked Karen to have her higher consciousness take her back to the energetic root cause, the energetic core anchor of the energy of fear, not what she knew or experienced or could use her current life experience to explain it, but it was the energy. She could not get in touch with it. She said, I don't fear anything. But she also could not get in touch with the energy of fear. So maybe that answers your question. But she wasn't able to follow that prompt, but it still worked out fine because she just went someplace else, which is perfectly good. Are there any other questions? All right, I see, I'm looking for the time. We have about 9 minutes left. And Karen, do you want to have any questions yourself? We asked you what it was like, but would you have liked me to ask you something that I didn't ask?
Well, I guess the whole thing made me, I've been aware of it before, but it made me more aware of it on a deeper level of how I felt separate from my family. But my family made me feel safe, but I did not. I felt separate, and it just made me sense that more than on a deeper level.
Okay. Probably whoever's listening or in myself as well, if we're here on this program and tuning into this, we are practitioners of, want to call it metaphysics, spirituality. We have been on our journey for a very, very long time, and we're very aware of what motivates us, and we're eagerly looking, and we use many, many good techniques. There are so many good techniques to use to help us grow spiritually. And for Karen, that is a common theme, what she mentioned, that whether we call ourselves just metaphysicians or spiritual seekers or light workers, pick a name, there's lots of them out there and they're all correct. It often has felt like we were placed in a family of wild creatures, perhaps, or into an environment of wild creatures, or that we didn't fit in. Like Karen said, a duck in a chicken coop. I felt like I didn't fit in. So many people have talked about that I've worked with that they just didn't fit in, and it's all okay. It doesn't matter. And
what did come to mind was, I remember my brother and sister were very high achievers. They got all A's and president of the student council, and I had no desire to do that. And so there was a bit of a prodding, and so I was, leave me alone. So that kind of came to the surface when that happened, and a little bit of tension there. But I've always felt comfortable being alone, and when that situation arose, then I just kind of went off by myself and was happy. But again, it's that conflict with the family. This is the family, and this is me over there.
So what you were able to observe today is that there isn't a right or wrong way to do this, and we can start out looking to release a particular thing, and we are going to go wherever it's relevant, and it might be entirely different. And it's about healing yourself, and the techniques that I do are some of the good ones that I enjoy, and of course there are many good ones out there. So yes, so if there are no more questions. Yes. Yes, that answered the question. No more questions. Okay, Neshi, we cannot hear
Thank
Neshi.
you, thank you.
Yes, it's 5 minutes before, so we would like to close off. And I would like,
Hi, ladies.
hi, Neshi.
I'm trying to get the camera correct here. There, that's the best I can do with the studio. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
perfect.
Oh my goodness, it was to watch the session and to be a part of it, because you can feel the energy between the two of you as you were leading, Karen. What kept going through my mind is how helpful this would be for family issues, whether your family members are still here in the physical or if they have already passed on. You can still work on healing and releasing,
Right.
And because
Exactly, Neshi,
yeah, because I could certainly feel Karen's angst, I guess is the best word I can come up with, about her brother and sister being in a separate room playing, and she's in the bassinet. Felt that separation from her siblings. Not that it was a good thing or a bad thing, nothing at all about that. It's just being someplace else other than with them, right? So
symbolically, yes, and
Yes.
then recognize. Yes, that was a theme, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't feel anxious.
No, and Karen wants you to hear. She did not feel anxious.
That's good.
She didn't. It
Thank
was
you.
her mother who was anxious.
Right. That's right. Thank you for clarifying that, Karen. And I really like that balloon, the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
that was really good, because I really did. Yeah, I also thought
Simple.
that maybe Karen was going to get in and leave the backpack out, and she was going to fly away. But
She could have.
that would have been
If she had wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Direction that I needed.
I would have adapted and kept guiding her back down, Yes.
well, I just found it very helpful and fascinating, and I'm sure your audience did as well. I am going to leave you, ladies, so that you can do your last words and to your audience and to wish them a fond evening, okay? So thanks, everybody. I'm going to go back down and finish doing the production end of it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, whoever joined us and gave the support to Karen. She was so very brave to come on the show. I sort of said, oh, you're going to come into town? This is what we can do. Poor Karen. But she did a great job. I so appreciate that. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Neshi. Neshi handles everything so well. I feel so comfortable doing this with Neshi there. So thank you again. And if you would like to have any questions that you have for me, you can send them to my fan page, or you can email me directly. And if Neshi can put up my email address, it's my name, PHEREDIA50@hotmail.com. And I will gladly communicate with you directly if you have questions or if you'd like to work with me. I would value that and appreciate that also. So, all right, Karen, do you have any bon voyage words?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. Bye-bye.